everybody. Thanks for stopping by my shop. This is Chuck, and I appreciate your time. And this video is going to be about repairing this Hardinge Sjogren speed collet chuck. Had a problem with the threads within inside as it would tighten down on a collet, and I'm going to take you through a repair of it. So it's a nice unit. It's a D13 backplate that fits my Monarch 10EE, and it's been frustrating trying to use it. When it would try to tighten down on a collet, it would pop. So let's get on with the video, and we'll get it in the machine at the end and see how she works. Well, I'm doing a little repair here on a 5C chuck. This is a Hardinge, and it's a Hardinge Sjogren speed collet chuck. I've got it apart, and the reason I took it apart was that the threads here are stripped, basically almost stripped out. So when you do tighten down the hand wheel on the chuck, it'll pull the collet in, and then it'll actually kind of like pop and let the collet go. So basically going to bore this out and put a new sleeve in there, and then thread it. So I'm fortunate. This isn't my idea. A good friend, James Kilroy, he has a channel on YouTube. He did this about 6 years ago. So I have a reference video that shows me how to do it, and I'm going to set it up and basically do very similar to what he managed to get done. So we'll show you a little lathe work and a little build on it. I wanted to mention one thing before. The getting the nose piece, you know, the ring is on here and the nose piece is on here. And getting the nose piece released, watching a few other videos, people hammered away at these, and I was stuck trying to get this released from this piece here. And fortunately I went in, did a little reading, and then it was like, duh. Basically, after you undo the bolts, you put a couple of bolts in that are still into this housing, but you have a space. You hold this guy up and tap the bolts, and it comes apart. So just a tip if anybody's having to work on one of these and trying to figure out how to get the nose off, because it is a very tight fit, and beating on it don't help. So I've got the gear unit set up in the lathe here, and picked out a boring bar that I wanted to use. It was already in a holder, and I want to check to make sure it's on center. And this is a tool I have here, which is great on this bar. I don't know if I'm in your way there. Go around the other way. But I can reach around out here and check height on it, and it's cutting just a little bit below center, which is fine. So this guy will measure the height of the tip, or if I spin the top, then it'll show me if I'm just under. Nice little tool. So boring bar set, and we can go ahead and get a bore started. I'll bring you back. So to give you a little update, I've bored out this part and got rid of the threads inside. So my bore ID right now is 1 inch 372 thousandths and 4/10. So it's ready. And then I've built a slug to fill that void. And the slug's at 1 inch 374 7/10. So I'll have about a 2 thou press. I've put a little chamfer on the end of it, and so it aligns with the lines up with the part, and I can be able to press it right in. I'm going to Loctite it, and as you can see, this ring right here, the outside of that is 1.5 inches, which that is the step right there. And so this step ends up being flush with the backside, and when this goes through, this bore ends up being machined so it's flush with this side of the gear. So next thing is to get this pressed in, and then get it back in the lathe, drill it, bore it. You have to bore to 1 inch 188 thousandths, and then thread to a 20 TPI for the collet. So that's the update where it's at, and we'll continue on. Okay, we're over at the press. Parts have all been cleaned. Put the red Loctite on the part here. And we'll go for the press. Okay, that's down. That was a workout. Got the slug through the back side, and I think we're sitting pretty. Just a quick handheld here. I've decided to machine this surface flat in the closing just because the chuck's bigger to hold the unit rather than the 6-jaw, and I'm going to try out that tooling right there. So I've already moved in with the travidile and got it set at 0, so I know where this faces, and we'll just sneak right up onto it. I'm not going to show you in filming it because it's just too hard to get a camera angle, but just another update. Here's a quick handheld. You can see I had the camera set up there, and went to film this in the 10EE as I faced off the other side, and operator error, didn't hit the right button, so didn't get any footage, but it's just straight turning. So both sides are now flush with the gear, and the gear blank like it should be, and now it's time to drill and bore a hole to get it ready to thread. We'll keep on keeping on here.